Murray didn't make this beat. From the west to the east, from the north to the south, suburbs to the streets. Subscribe and hit the like so you won't miss a beat. Every day of the week, gotta know he dropping. Restaurant reviews to the current topics. Yeah, sports outlooks and he coming proper. Tune in for the real, we don't do the gossip. You tuned in to the What Up Though show with Dame D. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button, man. What up, though?
Okay, what's good? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the What Up Though show. It's your boy Dame D, and we are back with another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the outcome of with Errol, Spence, and Terance Crawford, the fight that happened over the weekend. In Vegas. I'm going to be bringing in two guests that's going to speak with us about that topic. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves to the show.
What up, though? It's BJ3 from the 313, now in the 323.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's your boy, Coach Hunk, from the number one boxing team in the country, Team Cartel out of Toledo, Ohio. How y'all doing?
Okay. We first of all and foremost, I want to thank you guys for coming on to the What Up Though show. And first and foremost, I want to congratulate Terance Crawford on his victory against Errol Spence. I'm just going to say, Big Hen and BJ, you guys called it. Crawford did everything that you guys said he was going to do. Spence did the opposite of what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to be able to walk right in with that jab and that left hand and wear him down to the body. So I guess my first question to you guys is, why do you think Errol Spence was not able to stop Crawford in all the counter shots? So you can go ahead first, BJ, and iterate on that.
Well, I want to say he did what you thought he was going to do. He came forward and threw punches to the body. He tried to land that left hand. It just didn't work. Now, as far as the counter, see, here's the thing, man. Bud has like programs in his database that he just slip a different card in and he changes everything. He can go from left to right. He can hit the jab soft, mid, hard. He can throw the left hand hook. He throw the hook from a certain angle, then it comes around and boop, it catches from an angle you ain't used to. He changes things up, and that was the thing that Errol he ain't had no answer for it.
He did not. And I'm going to ask you that same question, Coach. Why do you think Errol Spence was not able to stop Crawford counter shots?
Well, I'm going to say this. With boxing, it started from the ground up, from his feet. First of all, his base was too wide.
Okay.
Second of all, he was throwing his punches from wasn't tight at all. And then he was reaching to get his punches off. And fighting somebody of that stature, you just can't fight everybody the same way. It was like it wasn't no game plan. He was just standing in front of him. So, and then he tried to play the bully game of matching strength for strength, and he should have just came up with some different tactics, man. Like, dude is a great fighter. You got two type of people. You got both of them is predators, but Crawford just ended up being the apex predator. If you get what I'm saying.
Right. No, I get exactly what you're saying, because I'm an ex-fighter and
coming out the water. So that's what it looked like to me.
Okay, yeah. And I get exactly what you were saying. Like far as just him being squared up. It looked like, because of that first knockdown, it looked like to me that Spence was kind of off balance, but Crawford, that's what basically ended the fight. Everything that Spence threw, Crawford was able to throw that counter right hand back in. So my next question to you guys is, where do we go from here? Do you think it's going to be a immediate immediate rematch in the welterweight division, or do you think they're both going to move up to the junior middleweight division? So I'll go ahead, Coach. I'll let you lead this one off and tell me what you think. Do you think they're both going to move up and there'll be a rematch at the junior middleweight, or they'll stay down at the welterweight and fight again for the title, for the welterweight title?
I mean, Spence was talking about in December. I mean, what can he do differently from 4 months from now that he didn't do Saturday?
Okay.
Basically, I mean, what's going to change? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was rooting for Spence, but I didn't believe that was going to happen to him.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I think he just needs to sit back and reevaluate what can he do differently? Because his coach was telling him, you standing in front of him, you got to move in angles, and he didn't do none of it.
Right. Yeah. He just basically just stood right there in front of him.
You was watching from the TV.
Right.
I was in person, and we were wondering what was his coach telling him. We like,
Right.
man, listen to his coach, because we just
Nah.
knew that during the fight, and during the fight they playing music and different stuff, so we couldn't hear the corner. I'm glad you said it, because I'm like,
Yeah.
what was Derek James saying to this boy? I'm glad you
He
said
was
it.
he was telling him the right stuff, but he wasn't doing it. Like, dude just was basically he was trying to prove a point that I'm stronger than you, and that's where he failed at. Like I told my dad broke the fight down better than the analysts did, because he was going with Crawford, and he said, what are you gonna do when he got to go backwards? He said he always off balance. And my dad watched boxing every day. He studied Crawford.
Right.
Everybody in the garage, he told him, he said this was gonna happen, and I went against my dad, and it happened. Everything he said he too off balance. He leaned in for his shots.
He leaned in head first.
Yep, head first, and then what I had noticed, because I was looking at his feet, because I always watch when we got practice with the kids, and our fighters always watch their feet. I don't watch punches. I watch the feet.
Right.
His front foot was always like it was off the ground, man. You know what I'm saying?
He was more squared than versus being he was more being squared straight in front of him, being just squared, being straight ahead. You know what I mean? So he was off balance. Naturally, most left-handers are kind of like unorthodox and kind of off balance.
That's perfect.
See, amateur and the pros is different. An amateur, you can't game plan for nobody, because you're fighting different people every night. We be in a week-long tournaments. You can't practice for one fighter, because you fighting different fighters. So it's a difference. Like, they didn't change nothing up. They didn't have no backup plan. Like, okay, if this don't work, this what we doing. Right.
That was it.
Right. So,
but look how Bud played him. It was the defense. He was throwing a looping left hand, my hand up to my ear. I'm on a cell phone. Then he kept the other hand right in front of him to parry his jab and fight at angles. And then Bud hit him with short shots. It wasn't no wide. All them shots, they don't even look like they was hard.
Yeah, they were just short counter right and left shots. Basically, a lot of counter right hands. Basically, only thing Spence was doing was just what he was doing wrong was keeping that jab out there too long and allowing Crawford to counter. But BJ, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you that question too. Where do we go from here? Are they going to fight for the welterweight championship again, or do they move up to the junior middleweights?
Well, definitely, if Errol has his way, they're gonna fight at 154. And we were talking about this. Charlo is moving up to fight Canelo, so easily be a case where it's a vacant. Man, Charlo got all the belts at 154.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know.
So hold on, he have all 4 of the belts?
Since Bud have all the belts at the weight class below, if he potentially move up, he'll be fighting for some belts. I don't know which belts, but he'll be fighting for some belts at 154. And if his opponent is Spence, then Spence will get a chance to fight for belts at 154. I don't think they're gonna fight at 147 no more. Boost is at 147. Bud have run through Boost real quick right now. Don't put that boy in front of him right now. Let him build it up. He ain't ready for that right now. And there's nobody else at 154. So Bud probably is gonna go up. 147. So Bud
got Costa Zoo at 154.
No, I said it wrong. There's nobody else at 147. That's what I meant.
Right.
There's nobody else at 147 but Boots, and you don't want to put him in there with Bud right now. Not yet. Not yet.
Right. Well, that's still at welterweight though, right?
Not yet.
Right. So I guess that's what I mean. So
154. I think the next fight, and if you're asking me, if I'm on Spence side, I'm not putting that guy in there in 4 months against Spence.
Right.
No.
right. See, and that's my question. Do Spence go? And I guess that's my question to both of you guys. Do Spence get right in there in junior welterweight? Junior middleweight first fight and fight Crawford again for that belt? Would you do that? Would that be a wise decision? For your team to put you right back in there with him.
Me personally, I think you got to let the dust settle right now because we got to see what he's talking at the end of this week. How they talking?
Right.
I don't even want to pursue Crawford no more.
Yeah. See, and that's what I originally said. I said Spence need to go back to the drawing board, and what he need to do is just add more combinations to that left hand and to them body shots because pretty much you didn't see no combinations. He was just throwing straight jabs and left hands, and that was it. He was counting on that left hand to land and be a big shot. There was no combinations. If you guys go back and look, and I want you to tell me about that. Why do you think that he was relying just on that jab and that left hand, and there was no combinations at all?
Speed. Crawford took all that away. If you paid attention to any of Smith's fights, he throw hooks. He was be winning some of the instances.
Yeah, you didn't see none of that shit.
You couldn't win it with him.
The speed difference. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what y'all saying. That's it. It was just the speed.
No. I mean, I'm
IQ,
saying, yeah.
foot placement. Crawford won the foot battle. If you paid attention, you would see Crawford inches way in. Inches way in. He won the foot battle.
Right.
Everything he did, he watched everything he was doing. He seen how slow he was moving, how fast he was moving. He calculated all that, and he just countered it. I mean, it was timing. It was precision. He just took everything away from him. I mean, he took everything away from him.
I want to say this. Spence fans, and y'all Spence fans, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Spence, his camp, and all the people that was rooting for Spence, everybody that was interviewed that I seen from this weekend, everybody said the same thing. They said Spence is gonna come forward, he gonna beat the body, he gonna wear him down, and eventually he gonna break him and he gonna knock him out. And
yeah, I mean that's exactly what those were my words to the T.
I'm glad Coach said what he said because I didn't hear that. Because there was no other plan. It seemed like in his head, just like you said, Coach, in his head, he thought, I got to show him. And he just kept coming forward.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
and talked about this in another show. I said, man, if he come forward, Crawford is going to be ready for that. That's not what he want to do. And I don't know if he can do anything different. That's the thing. I don't know if Spence can change up and do anything different. If they fight again in 4 months, it's just going to be a knockout sooner.
Did y'all know this, though, what Crawford was doing? Crawford actually was training with the UFC people.
Yeah, he was at the UFC gym for a month.
He was training on his weaknesses and his strengths. I mean, he just did extra stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
All kind of stuff.
They did it stuff by committee. You know what I'm saying? This was a serious matter for them. Spence took it like we about to just bully this dude, man. And
yeah, and I agree with y'all. You know, I'm a big time Spence fan, and I agree 100%. He thought he was going to be able to run right through Crawford. He thought he was going to be able to throw that left hand and just run right through him. The speed and the quickness from Crawford countered everything that Spence was trying to do. He had no counter for Crawford's counter. You know, and pretty much that's what did the fight. Spence had no counter for the speed that Crawford had.
You didn't see them shots coming. Was hitting him. That's another thing that hurts you in boxing. The stuff you can see, you can protect yourself for that, but the ones that get you is the ones you don't see. Man.
Right, and I agree. See, and I was telling BJ that a lot of the shots that
hard fight for Crawford. That's what I'm tripping on. Right, that's crazy.
Right. See, and that's what I was telling BJ. A lot of like that first shot that he hit him with, I didn't even see that, and it was kind of like a flash knockdown. I thought at first when I first saw it, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the fight. But when I first saw that, I'm like, okay, it was a flash knockdown. Spence didn't even see that shot.
But it was behind the head, and it was the angle. It was the placement where Bud throws the punches. It just right there, boom. Okay, sit down. His first knockdown.
And I believe he hit him with a left hook and then he hit him with a right hook.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, my next question. Now, how many times did he knock Spence down throughout the whole fight? Was it 3 or 4?
It was 3 knockdowns.
Okay.
2 in the 7th, 1 in the 2nd, and then the stoppers.
Okay. Now, my last and final question to you guys. At the end of the 9th round, when the referee stopped the fight, Spence kind of looked like he didn't want him to stop the fight, like he wanted to go on. Do you think it was best that the referee stopped the fight, or let him go out on the shield?
He went out on the shield.
He went out on the shield.
Nah, he didn't go out on the shield. Going out on your shield is being knocked out. The referee stopped the fight.
I was screaming, Derek James, throw the towel in. Like, what was they waiting on?
Right.
I mean, he had no answer. You don't let this boy get beat up like this and go to sleep, and then he can't come back from it, versus you go back to the drawing board and you say, okay, you see what you did right here? You got to move. You got to do this. You got to do that. But why let him take that? He had no answer. And he just kept getting up and coming forward. And it was exactly what I wanted. So, okay, you don't keep coming forward. All right, I'll stand right here. When you miss, bing, 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 bing.
That deadliest knockdown was when he had his back against the ropes and Spence thought he had him right there, man, and he clipped him, dude. That was like, yeah, it's over.
You talking about the uppercut? Oh,
yeah, man.
Now,
with his back was on the ropes and he got clipped.
Now, do y'all think Spence had a problem with seeing in that 9th round? Do you think he had problems with his sight?
I said he like it right there. He comfortable right there.
Did you hear me, BJ?
Punches, boom, boom. Boom.
I think Crawford could have ended it earlier than that, man. I think it was just a sign of respect, though.
It was. I think he could have took him out.
I think he could have took him out. But he showed him respect, though. So,
can y'all hear me?
Both of them, man. But to me, and they kept saying like, no, I had a conversation with my cousin Saturday, and he kept saying, he's like, man, Crawford bigger than Spence. Crawford bigger than Spence. And everybody kept saying that, but when they fought, it didn't look like that.
They would have said no. Everybody was saying Errol was too big.
Yeah, they were saying Errol was too big, but I'm saying my cousin kept telling me, he's like, man, I don't care what they talking about. He said Crawford bigger than him, but in the fight, to me, I wasn't there, but in the fight, to me, Crawford looked bigger than him.
It didn't look like it was no difference.
No, Spence looked like he had him by a couple of inches. I don't think it was not by that much, but Spence had him by maybe by an inch or so. But in my opinion, if I think it's going to be a rematch, I think it should be in a welterweight division. I think Spence need to see if he can get that rematch again in that division, because like you guys said, it'll be the same thing in the junior middleweight. I think if he did move up, he need to just concentrate on adding more to his Can you guys hear me? Can y'all not hear me?
Spence ain't saying, but Walter said it. Walter said Spence didn't even look. He said he didn't look his skin. He said he didn't even look good. Like it was too. He looked drained. He said that out of his mouth.
Who said that?
Hey, can y'all not hear me?
He said, by the look of his skin, he said he could tell by his skin that he just looked drained. He said he just looked drained.
Coach, tell me this, and I know it's a different weight class, but it ain't even 10 pounds, dog.
No, it's only 7.
It ain't gonna be no
7
difference.
pounds.
It ain't gonna be no difference. It ain't gonna be no difference. But
now, do we know this? Was Spence bullshitting in his training? Was he still drinking and kicking it? Because Crawford don't drink and smoke and do none of this shit.
So
is you gonna take it serious this time?
Can y'all
taking it serious? You think
BJ?
Estimated it, man.
Can y'all hear me?
Nah, man. He said
I don't think they can hear me, y'all.
I'm gonna take the easy route. He said that. As Serena said.
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
The accident.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, that's. I mean, but he. Yeah, that's true because that should take a lot out of you. First shots, man. That
Oh my
jab. When
God.
Hey,
I seen him
can y'all
jab,
can
and
y'all hear
I
me?
seen it. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because I've been talking. I'm like, I didn't think y'all can hear me.
Now
I
we can.
couldn't.
At
I
first I
couldn't.
couldn't though. Now I can
Oh,
though.
okay, yeah, that's crazy because I've been talking and I'm like either they can't hear me or they just over talking me. But yeah, something happened with my mic. So basically, I'm gonna just go on ahead. In my opinion, like I was saying, I don't know if y'all heard the last thing I said. I said I don't think Errol should immediately give fight Crawford. He need to go on ahead and just move up and concentrate on, fighting somebody else and adding more things to his arsenal. Because like I said in that fight, he pretty much just looked like a one man. He just had a one two.
One set of ass
Yeah,
whooping.
one set of
Ass whooping.
one.
He looked like he just got schooled, man.
Yeah, pretty much he was
He looked
outclassed.
like a 3 year old getting
Crawford was
beat.
too fast for him, and he could not counter that counter that Crawford was putting on you. So my last question to you guys is, where do we go from here, like far as the rematch? So what do you guys think is gonna happen?
Like as far as who Bud fighting next or who Spence fighting next or like what?
Yeah, who Crawford's gonna fight next?
Um, we're gonna see. Listen, okay, all right, all right. So I think that
And I'm gonna keep this going, y'all. But I might have to do this because for a long time y'all could not hear me.
oh, okay, we was talking and you
Yeah, and I was sitting up here
yeah.
talking. I'm like, can y'all not hear me? But go ahead though, because y'all. I mean, I just sat back and listened, but I figured it out that the mics had cut off. But go ahead.
What's the question?
Where do we go from here? What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a rematch in the junior middleweights, or are they going to rematch back
Got you.
in the welterweight?
All right, so here's the thing. I think that Spence's people are going to motivate him to take the rematch. As sad as it sounds, everybody that was from Texas and everybody in his camp, everybody said we're gonna go back to the drawing board. We're gonna fight before the year is out. And I don't think that that's gonna be a good decision unless he's planning on going ahead, doing this one more time, and retiring. After this, I got the camp and I got the farm and the horses and all that. And
And that was Crawford's game plan.
I'm saying if Spence is just planning on having one more big fight and then retiring,
Okay,
because because everybody that they interviewed that was from Texas, like man, we coming back and he a warrior and he went out on the shield. He gonna come back and we're gonna do the rematch. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna do it again. So it's like, man, if they not advising him, look, dog, you need a knockout first. You need somebody athletic so he can move around and we can figure out how to counter his counter, and then we'll fight Bud again. It may take 2 years, but we'll get back to him. If ain't nobody in his corner saying that, I think they're gonna make him fight again, man. And I think he think I just need to go harder. I just need to go. I just think, yeah. From the sounds of it, that's
oh,
what's gonna happen.
okay, coach. And I'll go ahead and let you add to that, and we're going ahead and wrap it up.
I mean, it's a toss up to me. I mean, they can't talk for that man. They ain't in that man body. They ain't getting beat up like he did. So
Ooh,
we
don't do
we
it.
we got to see you got to see how he heal up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean, dude just exposed a lot of stuff, man. Like I'm just saying, what can you do in 4 months? 4 months from now,
man.
because when you
Unless
get
you
hit
change the
again,
coach,
you're gonna go back. Listen, man.
it's
When
gonna
we
go
get
right
when
back.
we getting when we be getting fighters from other coaches that have been brought up by somebody else, man, it's hard to change them around. I'm talking about even
Right.
within a year or two, dude. So
Yeah. No, I
I'm just
agree.
I'm just going by the experience I got with it.
Right. Yeah, and
And
I agree. I believe Crawford. I mean, Spence need to go back to the drawing board. And like I said, I don't know if you guys had heard that because I think my mic or whatever we having some technical difficulties. But yeah, he need to go back to the drawing board, and because this fight, like you said, he was out. He was pretty much outclassed. He could not match the speed of Crawford. Every jab that he threw, Crawford countered with that right and left hand. So and there was no combinations. The only thing he was throwing was that jab and that left hand, and that was it. So he definitely got to go back to the drawing board and come up with a different game plan on adding more combinations to that
he didn't
arsenal.
fight tall.
Go ahead. What you say now, Coach?
He didn't fight tall. His feet was too spread out.
Yeah.
I mean, this he just fought too flat footed, man. Like
Right.
in 4 or 5 months, how he gonna turn into an athletic fighter though?
I mean, yeah, so but I mean because he's only fought one way his whole career, and that's straight ahead. You really haven't saw that many combinations from him. He's relying on that left hand and them body shots to just wear you down.
Boom. Yeah.
And I mean, me personally, I mean, where do both of them go from here? Because the only person that Crawford can fight at 147 now that only makes sense will be Boots.
Right.
And it ain't no
That's
point in
it.
fighting him. It's all
Right.
lose. Ain't nothing to
Right.
gain off that.
Yeah, see, and Crawford wouldn't gain off of that, and Boots to me, he's a good fighter, but it probably would be the same thing that he did with to
He'll
Spence.
kill that boy.
Yeah,
He'll kill him. He ain't ready.
yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
All right, well,
But at 154, there's some fighters up there. Bud has some competition. He has some fights. He has some fights up there.
Yeah, there's some boys up there though.
okay.
they hitting up there. They hitting.
So what? So do Bud continue going on then, or what?
Bud trying to get to the Charlo. He trying to make history, man.
Right.
He trying to get to him. That man, he's speaking stuff into existence, man. So
Right.
Right.
Charlie come back down.
but
He didn't knock Charlie out.
he way more athletic than he just I don't know. He just made Errol look like he was just like super slow, bro. Like
Yeah, he did, and I couldn't believe it. Hey, listen, trust me, I did not think that fight was going to go how it did. He basically made Errol look like he was in a whole different league.
right. Now I ain't underestimate Bud or they ain't take nothing away from him, but I kept trying to tell him like the bigger man ain't always stronger. Where I grew up at, that stuff didn't hold true.
Right.
I don't know where they keep getting that from.
Right.
Oh, he's bigger, he's stronger.
Right, and fighters know that, but sometimes that bigger fighter, he can lean on you and wear you down, and that's what most people thought what was gonna happen. They thought Spence was just gonna lean on him and pound on him all day and wear him down with them body shots, and then in the later rounds be able to stop him. But shit, Bud did the opposite of what everybody thought.
I'm gonna put it in
Bud ain't
Dragon
never
Ball
been-
Z terms.
Right.
You had Spence was Piccolo and Bud was Goku. And that was the difference. Two
Right.
different strengths. They both strong and powerful, but he just had that ascending power, man. He get to them levels, man.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see no. Me personally, I don't see no different results. But if y'all want to fight for the bag, fight for the bag. But
Right.
That's what
that-
it'd be. That's why
Well-
I said if Spence fight him in 4 months, it'd be for the bag. He can go ahead and retire after that because he wouldn't need to fight nobody else. Who would he need to fight? Everybody at 154 gonna be coming
Right.
at him.
right. But
Right.
what's gonna be the difference? Because they both gonna be training for 4 or 6
It's
months.
not. It's
What's
not
gonna
gonna
be
be no difference.
Bud's still training too.
But I was telling, I said, man, Bud is fighting the so-called dude, so-called fighting at like 160, 168. That's his main sparring partner.
Right.
So y'all don't think Spence will be able to come in 54 and make no noise in that division? You think?
No.
It might help his legs out better.
Man.
Because I'm gonna be honest, he looked drained. Even after that, even before the knockdown, his legs he didn't look the same. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to make up nothing for Spence, but he looked drained. After that first knockdown, his legs was like spaghetti.
With how many pounds is it? 7 pounds difference?
7. I think it's 7.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a difference with 7 more pounds on it.
he gonna be like dun, 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 dun,
I
spike.
mean, 7 pounds, can make a difference, but he definitely didn't have an answer for Crawford that night. Crawford was the better fighter. I think Spence just needs to regroup and think it over before he think about fighting Crawford again. But BJ, I'm gonna give you the last words, and we're gonna go on ahead and wrap this up.
I ain't got no last words there. I had a great weekend in Vegas, man. It was a great time. Went to weigh in. We the only thing I didn't do was get some shirts, but we took our own shirt. I got a special made shirt I had made like 2-3 months ago.
Okay,
It's only 2 people in the world got it.
right.
And me and the missus.
Wow, that's awesome.
Great time, man. It was a great fight, man. You could feel it. Man, it was different. I've been to a bunch of fights, man. This fight felt different. You know what I'm saying? It felt different. It was a good fight. I like both fighters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had nothing against either Earl. I always like Earl, but I like Bud more. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Good time.
I,
So check
I
me
won't.
out. Check me out on all underscore natural underscore T
I'll
on
send you that.
TikTok and Instagram. All underscore natural underscore T.
Okay, Coach. Let them know where they can check you out and reach you at.
You can catch me on Instagram, Japes Gibson, JAPES GIPSON, and on Facebook, Gary McNair, GARYMCNAIR.
Okay. And BJ, I want to thank you again for all the live footage and interviews you did out there in Vegas. We still gonna get that put up. We just work, like I said, we've been working a few kinks out over here, but we definitely gonna get all that put up. But once again, I thank you guys for coming on the show, and it's been a pleasure. And we definitely gonna follow this up with another one. And you guys have a good night and peace.
Hey,
You too.
before you get off though, let me tell you this before you get off. You can
Go
end the
ahead.
show though. End
Go
the
ahead.
show.
No, go ahead, Coach.
Now I was gonna tell you since you here, man, you need to come by the gym and check stuff out because all the pros, anybody from Toledo, the ones that's ranked, we all in the same gym, bro.
Now, where's this gym at? Because like I said, I was just at one of the main gyms here in Toledo because we brought one of our fighters from Detroit down there. He was actually training for a fight coming up
Who
that
was
he
he
just
training
had.
with?
You say what now?
Where was he training at?
I believe it was right there off of off of Door
Oh,
Street. I
Soul
believe.
City.
No, it was off of Junction, I believe.
Soul City, man.
Yeah, it was off of Junction.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, bro. I
Okay.
ain't gonna-
Well, yeah. Well, we definitely gonna get up,
I
Coach. We'll get
introduced
up.
you to some people though, bro. 'Cause since you were doing this boxing stuff, but
Right.
we got Olympians in our gym. You got the Axe man. You got Tyler McCurry. You got Albert Bell that come through there.
Right.
Everybody come through that gym, man.
Okay. Well, yeah. Y'all
Jerry,
definitely got some bangers that
all
come
them,
through
Big
there.
Baby, all them, bro.
Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely going to be doing some more talking. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming on to the show. It was good talking to you. And we're going to leave y'all guys with the theme show. And you guys have a good night. Peace.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thanks. You too.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace and blessings, y'all.